I sit in front of a computer screen all day, and I love, on the weekends, I love getting my hands dirty doing projects. We have this horrible drainage problem that whenever it rains, all the water just collects and just pours in right here. So I was digging a hole, literally digging a hole. It started with a scratch, which is just so weird. I noticed it and thought nothing of it.
Zach is my husband. He loves to work outside. He loves to work with his hands. And he was doing this project a few months ago. Well, about 24 hours after the project, he started feeling terrible, dizzy, nauseous, feverish, and his left arm really, really hurt.
I knew in my head like there was something had to be wrong, and I had that feeling of like I should go to the ER.
2 days later, in the ER at Mercy Hospital, I've got all 4 girls with me, and we are talking with doctors about how to save his life.
It did happen so fast. I mean, it was 48 hours between your first onset of an unusual symptom to on death's door, basically.
Zach had an aggressive, life-threatening bacterial infection, group A strep.
We're in the ER and they're looking at me saying, you may have missed your window to save his life. And it was just 2 days earlier when you'd been digging in the hole.
Doctors said Zach might need surgery, and they said if we went that route, it would be a drastic last resort.
All my vitals were crashing.
A few hours later, they rolled Zach into surgery. They cut his chest open and tried to remove as much of the infection as they could. But the thing is, at that point, the infection had already spread to Zach's blood. He was in septic shock.
And I just kept hearing, the word I kept hearing over and over again was, this isn't good. This isn't good.
For Zach, it was a small cut on his arm that actually allowed this group A strep infection to enter into his body. And he was just working out his yard. That happens every day to people. But if that infection gets into your blood and it's the right type of bacteria, it could be life-threatening. You could die from it. Eventually, he wouldn't have made it if you didn't get the infection treated.
The doctors said his chances for survival were about 50-50. Those are not great odds for a dad with 4 little girls.
Go for it. I remember reaching out, Wolf grabbing your hand, and we just kind of looked at each other and, kind of both nodded.
You see, Zach had really never missed a birthday, never missed a feeding, a first step. He's really the kind of dad that's there for everything, so it was so hard on our girls to wake up every day and just wonder when their dad would get home. He was in the hospital almost 2 full weeks.
Just being the youngest person in that whole entire floor, and all my medical team and staff that would come in, they were great, but they were all shocked by my age. So they're like, whoa, what are you doing here?
Finally, that surgeon put a wound vacuum on Zach's chest and then let him come home.
Hello.
We had a nurse come to our house for about a month every other day to change out his dressing, and so his body could heal and continue to recover.
108 over 68, we're better.
The doctors told us there are some ravenous group A strep infections out there that sometimes even the healthy and the young don't stand a chance.
How you doing?
You look good.
Thanks, man. I feel good.
You look like a new man. Like a different guy. Hi, Allie. How are you?
We wish we'd gone to the ER sooner or called the doctor sooner. That was the lesson that we learned.
No, I'm not much of a helicopter parent or a helicopter wife, if there is such a thing.
There you go.
When you've got such a busy, active family, and I think a lot of families can probably relate to this. When one of you gets sick, it's like, well, you're on your own. Let me know when you're better. I'm going to be over here managing our family. So, yeah, I think after this experience, I'll be paying a little closer attention.
When they got to Neverland, Peter
Life
took Wendy.
doesn't have any do-overs. Zach is healthy and he is recovering, and we feel super lucky that we are here together to share our
She had
story.
to warn Peter before it was too late. She made her escape carefully and flew back to the hideout. Peter Pan.